Perfect. All right, so to start our class today, in order to access KDB Connect, you can go to kdbconnect.com directly, but I'm actually going to go to access.kdb.com or mykw.kdb.com to access this right away. All right, this will actually take you through your MyKW platform, and this will give us back-end access to all of our different tools, obviously in this case including KDB Connect. All right, so I'm going to sign in with my username and my password. Now, if you ever forget your password, there's a forgot password option down here to send over that reset email immediately. All right, so that's all available on here. All right, but let's go ahead and sign in real quick. Hopefully you guys are already logged in right now, so that'll give you access to everything. Just want to give you guys a quick second to get everything up and running. Perfect. All right, now if you happen to sign into MyKW and this pops up, no worries. All right, I just want to give you a heads up. You're perfectly fine on here. All right, then I can go through and I can click inside the mykw.kdb.com up here inside the address bar. All right, and then we'll be able to access this immediately. So the first thing we're going to want to do inside our MyKW account in order to access KDB Connect is hover over the Home option inside the black bar. All right, so we're going to hover over Home, and we're going to go to KW Connect, that fourth option down. All right, so let's go and hover over Home and access KW Connect real quick. All right, here we go. So I want to give everyone a second to catch up on that real quick. Perfect. All right, so once we click on that, this is going to take us to the back end of our KDB Connect account where we can actually access everything. So I'm going to click on this Accept Cookies option real quick. All right, so that way we'll be all good to go on here. All right, now one thing to note, you can also go to kdbconnect.com and you'll sign in as well with your username and password for MyKW. So I just want to give you a heads up, it'll be the exact same login and password on there. All right, so that's the good part about this, is it's going to be the exact same for you to utilize. All right, so with that being said, though, let's just go ahead and take a look at what we currently have on KDB Connect before we actually get inside the referral platform, and let's talk about our profile and some different information we can actually access. All right, so with that being said on here, all right, we can actually go through and view all of our different information through KDB Connect. Now, you probably noticed this little scrolling banner on here. This is a few items that obviously KW has specified at the top of here that are some of the primary options you might want to take a look at. All right, so these are usually different items that KW has added inside, obviously. All right, now above that, you can also search for different videos. You can search for courses you might be looking for, like Ignite courses, for instance. You can search for different documents you might want to download. All right, so there's a bunch of different training opportunities that are available on here. Now, the cool part about KDB Connect is it's not just going to be KDBRI, training videos. It's also going to be other training options or other videos that agents have added inside too, or staff members. All right, so this is basically an entire portal for all KW associates to utilize. All right, as long as you have a MyKW username and password, you can access this immediately. All right, now below that, you are going to have the latest in tech on here. So this is going to be the latest videos that KWRI has actually posted out about technology. All right, so that way you can actually view them right away to kind of stay up to date with all the different technology that's currently available for you or coming out from KW through the Keller Cloud platform. All right, below that, you can actually see all the new videos that have been posted on here as well. It'll automatically display KWRI only. All right, so you can see that's kind of highlighted in red. But you can also click on the person icon, and then this will also display all the associate-only pieces on here too. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. You can actually see all those available on here. All right. So with that being said, you can also click on any of these if you'd like to take a look at them. Or if we scroll down even further, we can actually see some of our upcoming courses that are coming out on here as well. All right, or any different trending searches you might want to take a look at. All right, now with that being said, this is just from the home page on here. You obviously can search for whatever it is you might be looking for. So if I want to learn a little bit more about, opportunities, for instance, I can search for opportunities on here and click the enter button. All right, that'll allow me to search for this real quick. Perfect. All right, and once we do that, then it'll pop up with everything that's available, whether it's going to be different obviously courses on here we might want to take a look at, or of course we'll have additional items we can download on here too or view. All right, so completely up to you at the end of the day as to what you might want to actually look at on here. All right, and as you can see, they're all in chronological order to help out on here too. All right, so it'll make your life a little bit easier. All right, so once again, this is all through KW, obviously directly, or of course through other associates that have posted stuff on KW Connect too. Now, outside of just going through that, and the other reason I searched for something real quick is to get rid of that scrolling banner, just because I didn't want you guys to constantly see that coming up on the screen or anything. All right, now up here at the top, you can also access all the different memberships as well. All right, so under the membership section on here, all right, you can go through and you can actually learn more about, the luxury division. You can learn more about land. You can learn more about commercial division. All right, all the different membership opportunities that are available for you. So if I click on this My Memberships option, for instance, here we go. All right, so then this will automatically pop up with our membership directory. Obviously, it's in alphabetical order on here, so we can even see stuff about bold membership, expansion. Obviously, they had stuff over here on family reunion. I can imagine 2020 will pop up on here soon. All right, you can see stuff on land, the luxury division, worldwide, young professionals. All right, so this is all available for you to learn a little bit more about, what's inside these different memberships that you can join into at KW. All right. All right, so with that being said, I'm just going to scroll back up. I wanted to give you guys a second to look around at everything. All right, but then in this case, we can also come over here and view the calendar option too. Now, this calendar in this case is actually going to go through and view the calendar for not only your office, but also for, the KWRI backend. It's going to display stuff as well for your region. All right, so there's a good amount of information on here. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. So I'm going to go and click on that calendar option real quick. Here we go. I always like to pause a little bit in case you guys are wondering if there's a little bit of lag time. I just want to make sure you guys are able to access everything on here. All right, so with that being said, once we actually click on the calendar option, this is where we can see what's coming up for December. All right, so currently our Market Center, calendar is synchronized on here. This is perfect. And currently I'm just seeing all the different, sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. I'm seeing all the different options that are actually available on here for KWRI webinars. All right, but I can actually go through and I can access this advanced filter section up here at the top left. And then I can filter out what I want to look at. So right now I'm looking at the KWRI Learning Center. I can look at our region if I want to. I can look at regional events, our Market Center on here too. All right, so there's a bunch of different information that's actually available for us to just kind of search. So that way if I want to see any type of training that's currently in person, or I can actually come through and I can actually view additional training, over inside KWRI, over in our region, I'm definitely more than welcome to. So I can access everything that's available for us. All right, because some of this stuff might actually just be live webinars. All right, so if I wanted to access, for instance, let's say I want to access Latest in Labs this Friday, I can click on Latest in Labs, and then it'll automatically give me access as to how I can, get the back end on here. So here's the live stream info. Here's when it's going to start. Here's when it's going to stop. Here are the instructors. All right, so we can access all this information on here. All right, now the good part is all these classes are typically recorded too, so they will be available over inside KWRI or KW Connect on the back end as well. All right. So the other big item you also have are the resources. Now these are all resources that are currently available for you to utilize. All right, whether you want to see all the different live classes like we were just talking about inside the calendar, if you want to view as a new associate, kind of some welcome information of what you might want to do to start, culture information, events. All right, some of the big items I usually suggest taking a look at on here are definitely the marketing one and the Keller Cloud products. All right, that's going to be a really big item on here. Now, the big reason I suggest taking a look at the marketing resources, and of course you can look at any resources on here, all right, but the big reason I suggest the marketing resources is this is not going to be the actual marketing pieces that you'll create. All right, it will have some pieces on there. It's not going to have all different designs that you can access through command. All right, but under this marketing section on here, I'm going to go and click on that real quick. Perfect. All right, this is where you can actually access your logos and branding. So I always like to point that out. Now, obviously, they do have a listing presentation template. That's a little PowerPoint you can utilize. All right, or you can actually view, press release templates. There's some info on social media and whatnot. But if you notice, it doesn't have any of the different pieces that you'll typically have over inside Command in the Design section, and that's okay. All right, the biggest thing I always like to specify on here is this is where you can find the logos and branding. Because if I click on this logos and branding option on here, all right, so I'm going to go and click on that real quick. Perfect. All right, so this is where I can first and foremost see the identity and style guide. So if you want to find out the different font options that are currently available, or maybe you want to go through and see the different colors that are available on here too. All right, so completely up to you. All right, these are all the different options that KW has available through their own little color scheme, usually the red, gray, black, white, obviously. All right, but if we scroll down a little bit further on here, we can actually search for the Market Center logos. Now, not every Market Center logo is actually going to display on here, but a good amount of them are. So I just want to give you a heads up on there. All right, so a good amount will. All right, so all you'd actually have to do in order to find your logo for your office, all right, is literally type inside your Market Center number. Now, if you don't know what your Market Center number is, don't worry about leaving the page. I just want to show you something real quick. So I'm going to go over to my KW real quick to sign in. All right, your Market Center number will display at the top up here, this little red bar. All right, so if you notice, this one says 594, so I'll have access to that on here. All right, so you can literally find your Market Center number up here at the top in the red bar inside my KW, and then you can paste that inside on here. I don't think they have one on here. They do not. All right, but if I type inside one, you know, for, geez, I'll do it for, I don't know, 139. There we go. So if I did one for the Overland Park office on here, all right, then we can actually see, you know, hey, once we type inside the Market Center number, this pops up immediately. All right, so that's perfect on here for us to take a look at. And you can then either preview that logo to utilize or download the entire suite of logos. That'll include the JPEG, it'll include the PNG, it'll include the Photoshop file as well. So that way you can go through and tweak this right away. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. That'll help out tremendously on here. All right, and that'll give you a zip file of all of your logos to use right away. So if you happen to have, you know, say for instance, geez, like a new business card that's being created, or maybe you're having an email signature created and the graphic designer asks for a logo of your office or just a logo of Keller Williams, you can send them that entire suite or that entire zip file so they can choose the one that'll fit the best inside your graphic, basically. All right, so all these are available under the resources section on here, and of course you can view any of these. Now I'm not going to go through each of them obviously individually, but in case you want to click on any of them, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, there's even an option on here where you can ask other agents. It's basically an open forum at the end of the day. So you can ask agents any question you might want, and they can actually answer it back to you, all right? Or they can just answer it in general. So very similar to going over to like the forum section of, you know, any type of website. Like on Facebook, they have an open forum. On Google, they have a forum too, where you can kind of ask questions and get answers from the community or other helpful people, and you know, at the company. This is going to be very similar on here. So you can actually ask agents questions. Now, it doesn't just have to be, you know, questions about any of the KW products. It could actually be other stuff about, you know, what do you find the best for marketing? What are your best scripts for door knocking? All right, how do you typically host open houses? All right, so you can ask very general questions too to get information back as well. Now, in addition to that, you're also going to have the technology section on here. Now, under the technology section, this is where 4 different items will actually pop up. And the reason I didn't click on the resources option for Keller Cloud products is because that's also available under technology. All right, so if you want to learn about becoming a tech-enabled agent, you can also click on this to learn all about the different technology that you might want to utilize. All right, there's also the Keller Cloud products. That's what I'm going to click on. These are all the different suite of products that are available for you guys to use as a K2B agent. All right, you can learn more about compliance and how to actually utilize that now that dot loop is officially going away, and obviously DocuSign is the new one to use moving forward. All right, or if there's any leadership on here, there's even a leadership tech guide too. Now, more than likely that won't pop up for you. That's because of my role that I have that this is popping up. So you can go ahead and skip over that real quick. All right, the big one though is obviously the Keller Cloud products. So I can actually come over here and view all the different products that are available for you as an agent. So if I want to learn more about how to utilize Command, how to utilize the new consumer app that's coming out, Connect, like we're doing right now, right? The IDX sites that just launched back at the end of October, Kelly, that's obviously changing to Command Mobile soon, or training information on here. All right, this is all available for you to learn about. And then, of course, if you want to see any of the additional items that obviously you have access to as well, that's available over here under the Other Resources section too. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. So this will help out tremendously just to learn even more about what's available for you. So if I want to learn more about, the Agent IDX sites, I can click on this, and it'll automatically take me to that page where I can learn everything that's available on here. All right, how to start with your site, what's available on the sites that's going to make this stand out even further. All right, and on here, it'll actually just tell me, hey, let's get started. All right, so let's review everything on here. All right, let's perfect it. All right, let's go through and actually start to promote it and whatnot. All right, so once again, that's all available. I'm going to X out of this real quick under that technology section. All right, now I'm going to come back to referrals because we're going to spend the latter part of this class talking about referrals today. All right, but then you're also going to have this little growth section as well. All right, so this is where you can actually put inside your, they might talk about it as the CGI calculator. All right, this is where you can actually put inside your CGI information too. Now this is for the growth initiative, right? Or CGI calculator stands for Career Growth Initiative. All right, so this is where you can actually put inside your goals to keep track of everything. Now there's a new goal setting option over inside Command that you can actually utilize instead. All right, so I'm going to skip over this one on here because you might want to utilize that new goal option through the reports section. All right, and at the end of this class, I'll go over when I'm actually showing you guys where the referral section is over inside Command. All right, I'll actually show you this as well for the goal section too. All right. Now the next thing that I really want to pay attention to is up at the top right up here. All right, so this is going to be where we can actually sign in. So if you are not signed in quite yet, go ahead and hover over the person icon that might pop up. All right, and then click on the login option. All right, if you are signed in though, it should pop up with something like this where you can actually view your profile, you can view notifications, obviously view the community, help, or even log out. All right, so in this case, I'm going to click on the My Profile option so that way we can update our profile. Now this profile is actually going to update in a couple different locations. It's going to update over on KW Connect, obviously, and then it's also going to update over on Kelly for us to utilize and the referral section. So the information that we put inside our profile is really going to help us out tremendously. All right, so whenever we're actually sharing Kelly with other agents that we may meet at, family reunion, mega camp, any event going on, Ignite, Bold, whatever it might be. All right, or if they're ever sending us a referral, this is the information that'll pop up on here. All right, so I'm going to click on this profile option now, and once again, of course, if you have not signed in, click the login button so you can log in right away with your MyKW username and password. Typically, if you're already signed in, MyKW will just auto-log you in, so you're good to go. All right, but once I click on My Profile on here, this is where we can access our KW Connect profile immediately. All right, so all we'll need to do to update this is click that Edit My Profile option. All right, so let's click on Edit My Profile real quick. All right, so once I click on Edit My Profile, I want to give everyone a second to catch up to where we were. Here we go. All right, this is how we can actually go through and edit our KW Connect profile. Now, once again, this is going to link up with KW Connect, referrals, and even Kelly, so we want to make sure we have our proper information in here. All right, so the first thing we're going to see on here is where we can actually upload our photo. Now, it doesn't tell you anything about the photo, but it's actually going to sit inside a circle. All right, so you really want your headshot to be a square at the end of the day, so whenever that circle kind of goes inside the square to crop around it, your headshot will actually display properly in that circle. All right, so you definitely want to have the headshot in a square format so it's not distorted. Obviously, it'll display correctly, so you'll be all good to go on here. And that way, your headshot will be right in the middle of that circle whenever it crops out the corners. All right, now for the banner image, if you want to upload a banner, you're definitely more than welcome to. The required dimensions on here are 1920 by 313. All right, it has to be that exactly. All right, if you change any of the dimensions, unfortunately, it will not upload, so it has to be exactly 1920 by 313 to actually import on here. So I just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right, but you can even go through and change out your email. You can change out your phone numbers on here. I usually suggest putting inside for phone and mobile, your same direct line of contact. All right, so that way they can get in touch with you immediately. All right, you can put inside your service areas on here, your bio as well. So once again, this is not going to display publicly, but it will display for other KW agents to view. All right, now of course we can always just kind of copy and paste everything on here if you want to. You can also put inside the Facebook URL, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. Google Plus, unfortunately, is not around anymore, so you can leave that be. All right, there are custom tag options on here, too, that you can add inside. If you're in multiple market centers, you can actually display which one's your primary market center, just so that'll automatically display on here for you. So whenever you're sharing anything on Kelly, it'll pop up with that as well. All right, and then you'll also have the option of displaying what you want to actually show on your profile, and also the email frequency on here too. All right, so in this case, I usually suggest getting notifications for each update. All right, at the end of the day, if you happen to receive a notification about, say for instance, a brand new referral that came over, all right, you want to get that as quick as possible, all right, so that way you can actually reach back out to that person and reach out, obviously, to the potential lead. All right, so in this case, receiving notifications for every update will be one of the best things you can actually do on here. All right, now you can also do daily summaries or weekly summaries if you want to, but completely up to you at the end of the day. Now further down though, you're also going to have your profile information. Now what you want to display on your profile will once again affect what also displays over on your referral section. All right, so one thing to note about this, whenever we're actually filling this out or checking yes or obviously no in this case, depending on which one you want to display, all right, this will affect what shows. But a couple things to note as well. There is a section on here like closed units, listing sold units, lease closed units, buy sales closed units. All right, that is actually only going to display the closings, all right, that are actually from KW. All right, so all the different analytics that are coming on here are actually from the KWLS directly. All right, so whenever you actually close something on there, I guess not technically the KWLS, but actually from, the closings at the end of the month through transmittal. All right, so if you're a brand new agent to KW, but you've been in the business for the past couple of years or so at a different brokerage, all right, unfortunately, those numbers won't display on here, all right, but only your KW closings, your KW statistics will actually display. So you may have actually sold, 100 units in the past year on the buy side, all right, but at KW, maybe in the past month, you've sold, 15 or whatever it might be. That's obviously a massive amount, so good job. All right, but in this case, it'll only show 15 if you've only been with KW for 1 month. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on here. All right. So with that being said, you can click on any of these that you actually want to show, and as long as it says yes, you'll be all good to go. All right, so I'm going to click that update option, and we'll be perfect on here. All right, so once I click on this update button down here, as you can see, changes successfully saved. I don't know why that was so hard to say on there. All right, so you can update this at any time. Nothing is set in stone. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. All right, so that's one of the big things on here that you can actually go through and update immediately. Now, this will then update, obviously, over on Kelly. It'll update on your referrals. And, of course, if anyone finds your profile over on KW Connect, it'll update there, too. All right, but speaking of the referrals, let's go ahead and click on this now. So we're going to click on referrals real quick. Now that we've kind of done a little bit of an overview of what's available at the top, what's available on the home page, let's actually get into the referral section real quick. All right, so I'm going to click on the referral section real quick on here. Awesome. Perfect. Now, once we click on the referral section, this is how you can actually send and receive referrals. All right, so you can send and receive referrals to other KW agents. So I always kind of tell agents at KW now, ever since they launched this about 2 years ago, really start thinking nationally at the end of the day, all right? Because even if, obviously you're licensed, like in my case, let's say I'm licensed over in Florida. All right, so I'm over here in Orlando, I might start thinking, oh, well, in this case, I'm not able to help anyone that's over inside Washington, for instance. Well, I can always reach out to family and friends that may be, living in a different state or anything of that sort and let them know, hey, if you're ever looking to buy or sell, feel free to reach out to me and I can get you in touch with a fantastic Keller Williams real estate agent, all right, that can help you out even further with everything. All right. Or, of course, now with the new IDX sites, since they'll actually have accessibility to other MLSs outside of just, your standard one that you would typically have with the IDX, all right, you can actually give out your website URL to other clients to utilize, even if they're outside the state or so. All right, and then in this case, they can actually start to search for different listings. All right, and then if they find anything, then you can actually say, like, hey, if they want to see a showing, then you can come on here and reach out to another agent in that area. All right, so let's just kind of talk about the referral section on here, because this is a fantastic way to actually send and receive referrals from other KW agents. And I always tell people, typically the standard referral fee is usually about 25%. So 25% is always going to be greater than 0% at the end of the day. So you definitely want to send this out when possible. All right, so when we first click on the referral section, though, this is our referral homepage. All right, so we can actually see right away if we have any awaiting responses on here. All right, we can actually see over here any inbound referrals that we're actually working on, or any outbound referrals too. All right, so all available on here. And then, of course, if we scroll down even further, we can actually see who's inside our network. Now, the network on here is really going to be very similar to, like, LinkedIn, for instance, or, similar to Facebook, where you'd actually add friends. All right, so in this case, it's really going to display all the different people that you have inside your current KW referral network that you want to do business with. All right, so once again, if you've met anyone over at Family Reunion, all right, if you met them over at Mega Camp, all right, maybe you just met them over at Bold or at Ignite, whatever it might be, you can actually add them to your referral network so you can start to send and receive referrals with them. Now, the one thing I usually suggest on here is really treat this the way that you'd want to, treat Facebook at the end of the day. Add people that you know, that you've met, that you're friends with, that you trust to do business with. Don't just go through and add, 170,000 other KW associates, because that'll kind of defeat the purpose at the end of the day. All right. So in this case, you want to add people that you want to do business with. Now, the cool part is once you've actually added inside that person, you can then click on them. So I'll click on Ray, for instance. All right, and once I click on their name, not only does it show here's their, location, obviously, but then it'll have their contact info. It'll have their email on here, their bio as well, obviously, all this from KW Connect's profile. All right, we can add inside private notes if we want to about this person. We can see the number of transactions they've done at KW over the past 12 months, average deal size, obviously their sales volume on here. All right, and that'll help out tremendously to take a look at all this. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on here. All right, and then, of course, we can always send a referral over here as well. All right, so completely up to you. All right, now in order to actually add people to the referral network, though, it's pretty simple. You can actually just click on this if you want to search for someone. So we can search by their name, city, or tag in this case. All right, we can view all of our pending invitations, so anyone that's actually gone through and added us to the referral network that wants to be our friend on here, we can actually view that as well. All right, and to accept one, it's pretty simple. We can literally go through and just click on the accept option. And that's all we'd have to do. So I'll accept this one. I know this person. Well, I know all these people, but in this case, I'll accept that person on there. I happen to work with them recently. All right, but then we can see any inbound invites. We can see any outbound invites. All right, completely up to you at the end of the day. And you can also click on this option to grow your network too. All right, so if I click on grow my network, for instance, then this will automatically bring me over to a map where I can actually search once again by city or postal code or even by agent name to find them immediately. All right, so I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to search for one real quick. See if anything pops up. Here we go. All right, so if I search for a particular agent, so say, for instance, you meet someone, you want to add them to your network, then I can see on here anyone that's currently in my referral network, or I can see anyone that's out of my referral network. So this is Brian Chisholm, a good friend of mine, actually helped me purchase my home I'm in. All right, so I can actually click on this right here to invite them over to my network. So that way, if I want to actually send them an invite, I can click on that little, icon, basically like sending them a friend request. I can put inside any message I'd like to send for the invitation, and then I can send this right away. All right, so this will be a very easy way to start to grow, obviously, your referral network. Now, once again, this is just going to be, obviously in this case, for KW agents only. And if you notice, once I send off that referral, then all of a sudden, or the invitation, then it asks me, do I want to actually send a referral to them? All right, so if you're trying to do both, if you want to add them to your network and you want to send a referral, you can do that right away. All right, so if we notice on here, though, under the referral section, it'll have their name. We can see if it's a buyer, seller, or renter referral. We can see the referral fee, the deadline they have to accept, and this is why I was saying, hey, you might want to have it where you receive every notification, right? Because in this case, you might only have a certain amount of time to actually accept everything. All right, we can view inside the minimum price, maximum price, the client's name, location, email, phone number on here, transaction timeline, are they pre-approved, do we have any notes? All right, so you can actually send this off immediately as that referral. I'm going to X out of this real quick. All right, and once again, if I click on this, yeah, it's already invited, so we can't do anything. So if I send an invitation, same thing, gonna do it again. There we go. All right, I don't know how often he's on my KW or anything to see that, so we'll find out if he accepts it really quickly. All right, but in this case, I can also go through and I can search by the city or postal code. So for instance, if I knew that I was looking for someone in my zip code, so I'm gonna type in 32803, do Orlando, Florida on here. So if I know that I'm looking for someone over here, then I can actually go through and see all these people on here as well. Now, the cool part about this is when I'm actually searching under my little referral section on here, currently I'm showing the map view by production. Now, I can also change this to people inside my network or even inside Market Center. So if I click on the Market Center option, all right, one's going to pop up on here. This is actually a different location now. Looks like I haven't updated it quite yet inside KW. Should be over... Well, no, actually, never mind. That's correct. I'm looking at the wrong one. They did update it. It used to be over here. Now it's here. Perfect. All right, so I can actually see here's a current Market Center that's actually over inside the 32803 area, and then I could view all the different agents available on here too. So you can actually change the view as to how you're actually looking at these referrals. But if you are looking in production, all right, so say for instance you happen to have someone that's looking to purchase a home inside a specific area, all right, or you have someone that's looking to sell their home. All right, you can obviously search within that area to get an idea as to what's available. Now, the blue dots on here represent closed deals through KW over the past 12 months. All right, so all these deals have been closed through KW, whether on the buy, the sale, the lease side, whatever it might be. These are all completed on here. All right, this is, as you can see, a town center, so obviously no one's selling anything inside here. It's just interesting to see just an open area. All right, but the cool part about this, so if I zoom in, let's say, for instance, this is where the home's located, all right, right off of Kilgore Street. Then I can actually see over here, all right, here are all the different blue dots that are actually available, all right, as to what I'm actually looking for of who's actually sold on there. So I could say, well, if this is listed over, let's say this is 123 Kilgore Street, and this person sold 134 Kilgore Street, all right, I can actually click on that to view who it might actually be. All right, so in this case, I can actually go over and view all this different information for that particular person. All right, so completely up to you at the end of the day. All right, so let me see if I can click on any of these. They're not letting me click. That's okay. All right, it should usually allow you to click on here. Now, the other cool part is over on the right-hand side, this is actually sorting by closed units currently, but you can actually go through and you can sort instead by random. You can sort by first name, last name, listings sold, buy sides, leases. So I'm just doing closed units for the mass amount, obviously. Now, whenever I put my cursor over this, right, it'll automatically change the dots to red as to where those closings were. All right, so if I click on this person, for instance, then I can view all their information. So as you can see, they had 7 closed units, 5 listings, 2 buy. This person had 6 on the listing. All right, 5 over here, 5, so on and so forth. All right, so I can actually go through and view all these different items based on the map area that I'm looking at on here. All right, and then of course I could obviously click on the invite option, or I could click on the send referral option. All right, all this is available on here. And if you notice, before I even did that, if I click on Julie, for instance, all right, it'll pop up and it'll automatically give me, here are the closed units for the past 12 months, listings sold, obviously buy side. Here's their contact info from the KW Connect backend, email address. And then, of course, here's stuff I can do. I can invite to the network. I can send a referral. All right, so other cool stuff that you can actually take a look at on here. So I just want to give you a heads up how simple that is to actually send out a referral on here or find other people inside the area too. Now, another cool feature on here, so I'm going to hop back over to the My Referrals section. All right, so in that case, we were going under the Grow My Network. So in this case, you could also click on the Enter Referral to Track if you want to actually track anything on here. All right, so I can literally click on that and it'll automatically give me the exact same thing that we saw before, like when I added Brian Chisholm over to my network. All right, then all of a sudden it popped up, do you want to send out a referral? All This is where I can type inside the agent's name. I can put inside the type on here of whether it's incoming or outgoing, buyer, seller, renter, same information that we saw previously, in fact, verbatim on here. All right. Now I can also just click on the send referral option if I want to just send out one right away. Once again, same information on here. All right, you can always click the find agent option on here as well. And if I click on find agent, all right, it's going to take me directly back over to that little map option that I had on here. All right. Now outside of that, you can also specify on here too. So I'm going to go back to my area again. So I'm going to go back to 32803. All right, so here's everyone that's currently available on here. 391 different results have popped up. But I can also go on here through specifications. I could say, hey, I only want to work with people that are in luxury because it's a luxury home. All right, so I can actually filter this out by clicking on it, and then it'll automatically pop up. All right, so here are the 18 different results of people that have popped up, and here are all the different properties they've sold. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up how you can actually view all this immediately. All right, now I can also get rid of that too, so I'm going to clear this out real quick. Or I can also view events on here as well. All right, so currently it's just MegaCamp 2018. Hopefully they'll have MegaCamp 2019, obviously Family Reunion 2020, so that way you can search for everyone right away too. All right, now the other big thing to take a look at on here, when we're actually looking at closed units, for instance, if we pull this up, so as you can see inside this area, there are 43 closed units. This person had 39, 35, so on and so forth, just going in order, obviously, of what we're actually viewing on here to make it even easier. All right, but we don't have to just view by closed units. If we know this is going to be a listing side, we might want to just do listing sold. All right, so that way we can access everything immediately. And then once again, same thing on here. All right, so nothing too crazy has changed. All right, but I just want to give you a heads up how simple it is to actually find everything on here. Let's see if I could. I was going to try and get rid of it. My screen's a little bit smaller today because I'm on my laptop. Now, if you notice, there is a broadcast option up here, too. Let me see if I can zoom out real quick. There we go. All right, just enough to see that broadcast. All right, so currently when I zoomed out, this went up to 479. All right, so in this case, as you can see, we have all of our different, potential people that we could send this out to. Now, if we don't find someone that we actually want to send the referral to, or we don't want to add them to our network or anything, all right, in this case, we could actually send out a broadcast referral. Now, you're not able to send out a broadcast referral to, obviously, in this case, over 400 people. All right, but if I zoom in real quick, I'll zoom in a little bit more. So, all right, we're in the 220. We're getting close. All right, so as you can see, anything under 200, we should be able to actually send out that broadcast referral. Now, in some cases, it's usually under 50 if you're actually over on, like, the KW command side. I've seen it under 50 on there. But over here under the referral backend, you can actually send it out to 200 people at a time. So this is one of the other reasons why having that notification set up to actually receive info about a new referral is very crucial, so that way you can get on top of that immediately so you can get that referral from somebody. All right, so this will help out tremendously on here. So I can actually send out this broadcast referral of the information, and then any of these agents could actually go through and approve it right away. Now, if you notice, this client information below will be kept confidential until you award the referral. So in this case, the only thing they're actually going to see is what type of person they are. All right, so in this case, are they a buyer, seller, or renter? What's the referral fee? What's the acceptance deadline? And then what's the price? All right, so what's kind of the range on here? Now, once you actually accept the referral to whoever you want to send it to, then you can actually come through here and they'll, once it's accepted, they'll see all the additional info. They can contact that client right away. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up how simple it is to actually send and receive referrals on here. All right, and once again, you can click on any of these. You can actually specify for certain leases, certain buys on here. So maybe I say I want to do at least, 2 buys over inside this area in the past 12 months. All right, so then I can see here's the broadcast of 14 different people. All right, so I can go through and view that immediately. Now, one other thing to note, you can access this through KW Connect. All right, so I'm currently on KW Connect. That's where I find the referral section. But this is also available, so I'm going to go over here real quick. I hope I'm not signed into anything. We're going to find out real quick. Oh, I am. I'm signed into mine. Perfect. All right, then we can also access it under KW Command, all right, under the agent.kw.com backend. All right, so under agent.kw.com backend, if you notice, there's a referral section on here too. All right, so this is where you can actually access the referrals from Command instead. So if you don't want to utilize KW Connect, no problem. All right, you can just go through Command to actually send and receive referrals. Now, if we notice on here, it's going to be pretty much identical. All right, so when we look at this, let's do a side-by-side comparison real quick. So I'm going to go back to the referral section. So here's the home page. All right, referrals over on KDB Connect, referrals on KDB Command. Same referral network, track referrals, grow my network. Here's all the information on what we're sending out. All right, then of course you can also enter inside the referrals, send referrals, same info up here. We can click on new referral to send that out. We can click on my referrals. We can click on the map, my network. It's all available on here. Now one thing to note, so I'm going to go and click on this allow option so it'll pull into where I'm located, or at least close on here. So I'm going to zoom back in. So we're going back over to 32803. All right, so if we notice on here the broadcast referral option, that's not popping up. So if you notice on command, it is 50 or less. All right, so whenever we're actually over on Connect, it's actually 200 or less. But over on Command, you can only send out a broadcast of 50 or less on here. All right, so I'm currently going through production, so instead of just seeing a bunch of different dots on here, it's just kind of showing us, hey, in this area, this is how many were closed last year, or the past 12 months, obviously. All right, so now once I zoom in enough, then we'll be able to see the dots. Let me zoom in one more. We should be able to see all these dots now. Perfect. Now, over inside Command, one thing that's a little bit different. So let me go and click on this. I'm going to do closed units on here. All right, so in this case, if I hover over this is the cool part. Once I hover over the person, it's a little bit easier to see inside Command than it was over inside, obviously, the referral section in Connect. We can actually see this is changed to red. All right, so if you notice, once I actually hover over it, all these dots are red because that's where these closings actually occurred. Now, if I scroll down, then I can see the additional ones on here. So it looks like Alexis Nickley had one closing over here inside the little map area over the past year. All right, Dan Grebon here had one as well. Raymond Lopez had one, so on and so forth. But if you notice on here, like Allison Hunt, for instance, I can see 3 red dots inside my little map. Well, how come Ray, Dan, and Alexis are higher? All right, well, the closed units on here is actually going to show closed units for their entire, all right, everything. So even outside of this area. So it's not just going to be how many closed units they had inside the map on here that we're looking at inside Command. All right, so that's a little bit different than what we saw over inside the referral section on Connect. So if I click down here, I can see, all right, closed units, they had 350. All right, now if I come down here to Alexis, all right, closed units for the Nickley group, 344, so just a little bit under that. All right, Dan Grebon here, 227, so on and so forth. Ray Lopez, the person I had as my referral person, obviously, inside my network, 144. So perfect on here. We can see all this. Now, that's the only difference on here. If I actually search by this, it's going to go in order, if I'm searching by closed units, of how many closed units they had entirely over the past 12 months. All right, so it's not just going to go through this area only. All right, it's going to go through everything in general. All right, so that way you can actually see that. So if you want to, you can actually go through and view it by random. You can view it by listing sold, whatever it might be. But I love the fact that when you hover over this, it'll actually show all the different areas. And of course, if I zoom in even further on here, here's the zoom button down here. Say, for instance, they're selling over on, like near Illinois Street. I can click on this and I can see, oh, Steve Montgomery sold this home, so he probably already knows, how to actually sell over here too. All right, so he'll know about that area. So that'll help out tremendously. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. You can also click on the option to add them to the referral network or to send a referral immediately on here too. All right, so that's all available. If you notice now that I'm under 50, the broadcast referral option is available for me to send off. All right, so that's just a couple of different items that have actually updated between the KDB Connect and the KDB Command referral section. Now, a lot of people will typically use KDB Command instead for the referral platform. All right, but if you want to go to kdbconnect.com, you're definitely more than welcome to. I want to show you both options so you can decide on your own. All right. Now, the one other thing I did tell you guys about, hey, you had your CGI calculator, but now inside Command, there's actually going to be a reports section that's going to have your goals for 2020. All right, so since I didn't go over the CGI calculator, in order to access the reports, this is this little bar graph down here, bar chart, I guess, however you want to consider it. All right, once I click on the reports option, I can view all of my reports for KDB Command. All right, but now inside KDB Command, there's also a goals section. All right, so this is kind of the new CGI calculator at the end of the day. All right, so in this case, you can actually put inside your goals of what you want to earn in 2020 and what you'll actually need to do to make that a possibility or make that actually happen at the end of the day. All right, so through the goals section, you can actually specify, you got 20 days and 11 hours since this video was live, obviously, to get this set up for 2020. All right, but then whenever you actually set this up, it'll tell you, all right, based on what you want to make. So I said I want to make $100,000 next year in GCI. And then I said, all right, my amount that I need to actually pay back for my expenses is only $10,000. All right, so I did that, obviously, just as a little safe harbor, make it a little bit easier to kind of go through for the analytics and whatnot. So it said, all right, in order to actually make that, we're going to need to make 110,000. All right, in this case, it basically said, based on the average property in my area, the average price, obviously 3% commission, this is how many leads I'll need, how many contacts I'll need from those leads, how many appointments set, appointments kept, or agreements under contract, closed units, in order to equal out my profit goal, all right, for 2020. So you can actually set this up. So this is kind of like the new CGI calculator. So instead of just putting inside your goals for the month, this will actually help you to track everything even further. All right, so in this case, what do you need to do to actually reach your goal? All right, so that'll help out tremendously. All right, so that's all under agent.ktb.com. But once again, at the end of the day, this is where you can access everything under Connect, and you can also access your referral section immediately too. Now remember, all this is available under ktbconnect.com, or you can actually go to mykw.ktb.com. All right, hover over that home option in the black bar up here at the top, and go to KTB Connect, and that'll give you access to that immediately. And then, of course, once again, you can go to agent.ktb.com to access that referral section too. So there you go. All right, so that is going to be it for our KTB Connect and KTB Referral overview class for today.